Turning Point USA has had, like, I guess this was the end of the year event or something like that, or before Christmas event or something. And I'm gonna tell you right now, that whole thing, when you come up, you got to mute yourself. That whole thing was such a mess. It was a complete mess from start to finish. All right. There's so many people on here that I want to bring up, but I can only fit so many people on the screen. I think we got to talk to. That's why they're the biggest people. The biggest issue, the biggest thing that people are talking about is Erika Kirk and Candace Owens. Now, if you guys know, Candace Owens has been going on her journey where she's been like going through the investigation. She's been investigating and trying to discover the details and solve the case about Charlie Kirk. Now, y'all know my opinions on Charlie Kirk, okay? I think that's abundantly clear. My opinions on Charlie Kirk. That's what she's doing. I've seen some of her stuff. I ain't really gotten into it because I don't care for Charlie Kirk. I'm gonna be very honest with you. Okay. Erika Kirk, you know, the widow of Charlie Kirk. She's now the CEO of Turning Point USA, and now she's running it. The thing that Candace has been trying to do is she's been like pointing the fingers at a lot of members of Turning Point USA, which was the organization Charlie ran, and said that they are in cahoots with what happened. She hasn't really put a name directly on who did it, who called it, but she's trying to say that there's a lot of accomplices involved in the situation. And she said that it's a lot of people at Turning Point USA who's involved in it. Erika, now that's not good for business. That's not good for business for Erika, because Erika's starting trying to get this thing as the new face of Turning Point USA. And it's not good that Candace is pointing the finger at their organization, saying that they backstabbed Charlie. So Candace has been doing this for about 3 months. Okay, since September. Erika and Candace kind of been throwing little shots at each other. Candace didn't start, but, you know, people kept probing Erika to say something about Candace. Candace, eventually they started going back and forth. I'm trying to be quick because I'm trying to get to the event. So they met up in private. Okay, they met in private, and a lot of people not really feeling that, to be honest, because they had, according to them both, a productive conversation, but it was a 4-hour conversation, not recorded, not streamed, and nobody really knows what happened. People relied on Candace to give the full breakdown, and Candace gave very surface level information about her private conversation with Erika and then moved on. So Candace has been kind of letting up off of Erika after she met her, which is what a lot of the people have been saying. All right. Now going to this event. If you guys know, Ben Shapiro and Candace Owens have been beefing ever since she left the Daily Wire, which was like, what, a year ago or so, right? So every chance that Ben Shapiro gets, he's throwing shade at Candace. He gets on this event and he's publicly denouncing Candace, so much so, and condemning her so much so, he also condemned Tucker Carlson and he condemned Megyn Kelly. Now, Ben also doesn't like Tucker Carlson because Ben doesn't like Nick Fuentes. Ben doesn't like Nick Fuentes because Ben is a part of a certain community, if you guys know what I mean. A part of the small hat Benjamin Netanyahu community. You know what I mean. Now, Nick Fuentes has said very disparaging things about Ben's community. And Ben doesn't like the fact that a lot of people in the, I guess you can call it, conservative movement have been platforming Nick Fuentes, including Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, Steven Crowder, pretty much everybody on the right, with the exception of Brandon Tatum. And that's because Brandon Tatum is in their pocket. They fund Brandon Tatum, so he's not going to do that. He's not going to cross that line. All right. So he gets up there and he goes on a whole long spiel about how people need to stop listening to Candace, how evil and toxic Candace is, how disrespectful Candace is. He goes on for a long time, right? And then he throws shots at Tucker Carlson. Then Tucker Carlson comes up there and throws shots at Ben Shapiro. Then Megyn Kelly says that Ben Shapiro and her are no longer friends. And Erika Kirk is now kind of throwing shade at Candace Owens and her conspiracies as well too. She's all like, well, we're Turning Point USA is everywhere except Egypt, because Candace made Egypt this big deal with her conspiracies. So she's throwing, there was a couple of little shots she was throwing at Candace. And then they got Nicki Minaj up there to do a Q&A. Nicki Minaj was up there doing a Q&A with Erika Kirk. Then Tucker Carlson came up there and completely really denounced America's involvement when it comes to the whole Gaza situation. So this whole event, there was another Steve Bannon. Steve Bannon came up there and he dissed Ben Shapiro.
I'm going to try to tread carefully.
Okay, hold on, brother. Sage, hold on. Steve Bannon came up there. He dissed Ben Shapiro. And Brandon Tatum, he dissed Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson dissed Brandon Tatum. I'm telling you, the event was a complete, total disaster. And this is the right. This is supposed to be the new right of America. They're supposed to be all unified under being a quote unquote Christian, a quote unquote American patriot, and they're out there dissing and throwing shots. They're fighting more than they ever have. They're out there throwing knives at each other, metaphorically speaking. And my thing is this. Of course we know it, because this is like kind of a part of their culture. They backstab each other. We understand this. But speaking of culture, does this not poorly reflect on their culture? That's all my thing. That's my thing. Does this not poorly reflect on my culture? When I saw Nicki Minaj up there, I thought to myself, oh, okay. Who knew Nicki Minaj was so politically involved in conversations? I mean, she was at the UN speaking on behalf of Nigerian Christians, and now she's at Turning Point USA, the event. Okay, who knew? All right. But my thing is this. Now, if you guys didn't know Nicki Minaj, I'm pretty sure everybody knows at this point, but Nicki Minaj is Trinidadian. Important detail. All right? Very important detail. Candace Owens is also Caribbean. Can't say that. Now, when Nicki Minaj is out here rapping about all of her, quote unquote ghetto ratchet things, I'm trying to be PG right now. When she's out there doing that, they like to say, oh, look at y'all culture, y'all culture, y'all culture, y'all culture. That's so unchristian. Is it very Christian-like to bring Nicki Minaj up there to represent at your Turning Point USA event? I thought y'all didn't like the degenerate hip-hop music. And I notice anytime when it comes to music, and this is something that I need a lot of black people to understand. When it comes to music and music artists in particular, they can't stand music artists when the music artist is saying something that goes against their narrative. They like to wag the finger about degeneracy in hip hop, ratchetness in hip hop, all of these negative, toxic things in hip hop. But yet they bring those same hip hop artists to their event. Those same people that they'll look at and say, well, you're a reflection of how degenerate their culture is. They'll bring them over to their Christian event. It's kind of weird, huh? So I want people to understand that when people talk about, man, well, we got to understand all of the music we listen to. No wonder they judge us for the music we listen to. No, that's not why. That's not why at all. It ain't got nothing to do with it. They like all that music. They like all that music. They like the people who make that music. And the thing is that they get to have their cake and eat it too, because they like the music Nicki Minaj puts out. They like the music, Little Durk, Chief Keef, all of them. They like the Young Thug. They like all of that stuff. And then they get to enjoy the music and then turn around and say we get to stereotype you all because of the music. So they get to have their cake and eat it too. Just I want you guys to understand that. Now, Nicki Minaj, I'm not sure what's going on with her citizenship, with her green card, because it looks like Nicki Minaj is really trying not to be deported. So a lot of people saying, because she was I don't know if her green card status is like up for question right now. I don't know if she's trying to bring a family member over here. I don't know what's going on. Maybe she lied or her parents lied. I don't know if she fearing deportation or something like that, and she trying to toe the line. I'm not sure what it is. Okay.
You know what? I got an idea, and I'm glad Brother Sage is on the stage. So, for the most part, I think people forget that Trump is actually a New Yorker. And this is why when people bring up the Central Park Five, let's go to the pictures of who he was hanging with even after that event. Nicki is also a hip hop star, whether we like it or not. And I think it's that New York connection that has Nicki wanting to go to bat for Trump, which could be a part of her citizenship. She could be looking for a favor for her old man who can't be around the school, you know. So I'm thinking for the most part, since Nicki has been in the industry, at one point in time, all the rappers put Trump in their lyrics, right? Before he really, really got into politics. All the rappers take pictures of him, you know, with him. Tyson stands up for Trump. And that's why after I got upset about Mandami and what he said about New York continuing to be powered by immigrants, when Trump made that call and he came back talking in a different tone, I said the only immigrant really running New York will be Trump.
It could be.
So I don't know. That's just my
I'm seeing a lot of different theories about what's going on with Nicki Minaj. It could be maybe Nicki Minaj got something illegal going on and she might need a pardon in the future. Is she trying to get on Trump's good side? Because I don't remember her doing this the first time he was president. I don't remember that at all. So, okay.
Copper Bay says Snoop Dogg went to Trump to help pardon a friend.
Yeah, it could be. Maybe, you know, maybe her husband is back in trouble. Maybe she looking for another pardon or something. Who knows? I don't know. But she was at this event.
Yeah.
And I just found it very interesting that these super pious Christians, quote unquote, these super pious Christians are bringing her on to the Mrs. My anaconda don't like none if you ain't got buns or whatever the case is. It's crazy that these super pious Christians who like all this, you know, country music and church music and everything, they bring Nicki Minaj on. Okay. Are they trying to appeal to the youth with that? It just kind of just seems like off brand a little bit. The whole thing was just a disaster, but I'm not going to keep y'all too long. All right, then let's get the conversation started. Let's get to Manny.
How's everybody doing today?
Good. How you doing?
How you guys doing? So the topic is about Candace Owens and her beef with Charlie Kirk and the others.
Well, the topic is kind of about that because I think that plays a factor into the disaster event that the Turning Point USA just had. I do think that's why Candace is up there. Candace wasn't at the event, but I do think that Candace and her thing with Erika, I feel like that played a part in a lot of this because that played into why Ben said what he said, why Tucker said what he said, why Megan said. So I feel like that plays a huge role in it, but she wasn't there. So if you want to speak to that, you can. But where are you from?
Oh, I'm Black American from Florida.
Okay.
West Palm Beach.
Okay.
Far as Candace Owens, I really don't like listen to her videos. I get kind of makes me want to vomit whenever she speaks, basically, to be fair. And far as Charlie Kirk was just a pawn for the Republicans. He was that. I feel like the Republicans was just using him to a certain degree, if that makes any sense. And I feel like they don't care. They could care less about him being, you know, unalive, to be honest.
Honestly, they really don't. I mean, they don't even bring up Charlie and they're exploiting his name and trying to use it for whatever leverage they have.
Yeah.
They don't care. They don't care about none of these. None of these people are honest people who like actually have dignity and friends and good, healthy relationships. None of them. So, I mean, Yeah. As far as the conspiracy, let me just touch on this before. After then, we'll move to Sage and then Black Vanguard. As far as Candace with the conspiracy, I think Candace is grifting. I honestly do. I think Candace is grifting. I don't believe, because I've seen some of her content, I don't believe that every government in the world was somehow involved in getting at Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk was not nearly that big of a deal. He was not no politician. He wasn't no billionaire with islands and oil reserves or anything like that. It did not take, according to Candace, it did not take super helicopters and assassins and all. It didn't come on. I don't think at all it was nearly that deep. Now, as far as what the FBI has said, some of what the FBI have said don't make that much sense. I'm gonna be honest. The FBI has been all over the place. I'm gonna be honest with you. She is correct with that. Personally, I don't care for Charlie. I really don't. So I'm not interested in solving the quote unquote case. I don't care for the guy. Okay. But is she going too far? Yeah. Does she know it? Yes, she does. She knows it. She knows that it wasn't no whole secret Illuminati organization to get after Charlie. It's not that deep. He was not that deep of a person. Okay. You can find holes in her own conspiracies, one video after another one. Okay. And she's dragging it along. But who cares to me? But she is, even the narrative out there is destroying the image of Turning Point USA, which is why they had that private meeting. But I want to hear what y'all think. Sage, brother, talk to us.
You know, I'm still learning how to work this, brother.
Yeah.
Sorry, so if it takes me a minute to get off mute, my bad. So what my sister BX said was right. Trump is from New York. He's from Jamaica Estates in Queens. Hopefully you guys knew that. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with, within the next, honestly, 5 months, because Mamdani comes into office in January 1st, to be honest with you. So my predict is that he's going to go against Trump. He's going to get arrested. He's just a mayor. He's not a president. But New Yorkers will find that out very quickly. All the people that voted for Mamdani, the people that see hope in Mamdani, they'll find out very quickly that he really doesn't have much power. As far as the Turning Point situation, honestly, I think that Candace has like a deep infatuation, or she had a deep infatuation with Charlie Kirk. She probably wanted him to be her child's father, wanted him to be the person that she was in love with. Let's just be honest here. You don't do all of this for a person that you're not really interested in to that degree. So, but my only thing, again, I've never supported Candace Owens, and I personally never will. All of this talk about her recently talking about people putting hits out on her life, and I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. When it comes to Candace Owens and people putting hits out on her, I don't give a damn. Excuse me, I don't care. Why do I not care? Because again, Candace Owens spent her whole life since she's graduated from that college that she went to, denigrating black people, black men, black women alike. She denigrated black people. Anything that had darker skin, Candace Owens went against. And none of that has been true. And now the fact that she's getting treated like one of those black people that she denigrated, now she wants to scream racism, and now it's, a conspiracy, and now it's everyone's after you, when we've been trying to tell you about your little friend, Ben Shapiro. See, the problem with Kanye West, like I always said, we'll check Kanye West and what he says after y'all check Ben Shapiro. Because he's been saying vile racist things for years when it comes to black people. And no Jewish person ever checks him for anything. And my thing is that Candace was with him when this was happening, and she didn't say anything either. Now she's trying to call him out. Now she has a problem with, people of a certain religion. Now all of this is coming out only because it's beneficial to her. So Candace Owens only acts when things are beneficial towards her. So no, I don't take anything that she's saying as Genuine, none of it. I don't believe it. I believe it's conspiracy theory. She's only doing this because it benefits her. That's the only reason why she's doing any of this, to be honest with you. So whatever happens to that little girl, it happens to her. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't feel for what was Samuel L. Jackson's character in Django? I don't feel for him.
Steven.
Steven, yes. I never felt for Steven at the end of the movie. And we all know what happened to Steven. I don't feel for him. So whatever happens to Candace, again, you went against the grain. You went against the fray. So when these people get rid of their toys, which they usually do, they break their toys, as our brother Professor Black Truth says. They always break their damn toys, and that's fine. Let them break her. We're not going to be coming to your rescue. We're not going to be doing any of that. That's just not going to happen here. As far as the Nicki Minaj situation, to be honest with you, she's another, she's from Queens, just like Trump. And I didn't realize that Nicki was a Christian. When did you guys realize that when she was making the song My Anaconda Don't? Like, when did she become a Christian? Last I checked, all of her cash and prizes are all over her videos. And that's not very Christian or tradcom, as they call it in the white tea, in the white tea hemisphere. So when did Nicki Minaj support Christianity or even become a Christian herself? Was it before or after her brother and her significant other was charged with statutory rape?
Oh, you gotta say something to substitute that word.
Like great.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
To it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, my bad. Yeah. When did she find, before they were brought up on charges? Let's rewind that. Before they were brought up on charges, when did she find Christianity? Again, I think this is more of an opportunistic thing for her as well. When it comes to these Caribbeans, to be honest with you, Candace and Nicki alike, they're very opportunistic. So when something benefits specifically them, they'll do it. But when it benefits the whole of their people, because again, the people that you're standing on stage with,
you gotta mute your microphone.
The people that you're standing on stage with, Nicki, are the people that are in favor of deporting your people. Your people, Nicki. Because if I'm not mistaken, there are a lot of undocumented Trinidadians running around in New York right now, specifically on Flatbush right now. And the people that you're sitting on stage with, bigging up and calling them, friends of yours, they want all of those people to be deported. And this is what we talk about, a backstabbing culture when it comes to all of these foreigners, Caribbeans, Latinos, it's a very backstabbing culture. They feel, I made it to the promised land, so forget everybody else behind me because I'm here. And we've never had that mentality when it comes to, our people. We've never had that mentality. And if we did, then King would have just fought for Atlanta or Sweet Auburn. And Malcolm would have just fought for Harlem. You understand? But they never did that. They thought about their people as a whole. And I've yet to see, in all honesty, a Caribbean that's really done that without our influence on them. And let me repeat that. I've yet to see a Caribbean that's done that without our influence on them, because I can hear some people bringing up Minister Farrakhan. So I just want to clear that out. We're not talking about the minister, because again, the minister was brought up and cultivated by us. And with that, I'm
okay. If anybody disagrees, y'all hit the request button. I'm sorry, Sage, but hit the request button, and then y'all can come up and we'll have a mature civil conversation. It's not like we're Candace Owens and Erika Kirk. We'll have a mature public conversation about it.
A quick question, Afro. How can I get on camera? I still haven't figured this out yet.
So you would press your box.
That's why you can't get on camera.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Gotcha. I think you need a certain amount of people. How many do you need? How many?
I don't know. I don't
notice that.
Okay, somebody in the chat room telling me
You know what
To
you
bring you
do?
up, but I don't see you.
Around 400 followers.
Okay,
One
not a problem.
moment. One moment. There's an icon. If you look at the bottom of your phone screen, there's a camera icon. Press that, and it should help you out. You got to remember to click save once you take your profile picture down. But you know what I saw the other day? One moment,
And more said
Sam.
1,000 followers.
So what I saw the other day is a video of an immigrant from New York, a melanated immigrant, and she was complaining. She said, "Oh God, Ma'am Jamie is he's not going through with his promises already. He's changing everything out up." So I just snickered. When hasn't a Democrat done that? I just snickered and I kept on going. Didn't even share it. Maybe I did share it. It's amazing that they really in that stage of the game. It's just amazing.
No.
That just shows me that people
Oh,
don't understand politics.
yeah.
When Mom Donnie says that he's gonna make the buses, he's gonna make
Okay.
buses free. All he has to do is make one bus free, and he's completed that promise. If y'all don't understand how these political figures talk to you by now, then I don't know what to tell you. And you
Okay.
deserve everything that you get.
That's
But
true.
as far as him not coming through on his promises, like, what do you expect this man to do? He can't stop ICE. He can't do anything that's federal. He's only in control of the city. That's it. Don't expect this man to
Oh,
stop
Patrick,
ICE so
me and
ICE
you
won't
could
be
go. Me
allowed.
and you could
That
go.
that's not
Wait, one
no.
moment. One
That's
moment, because everybody, they're getting a little impatient. Sorry. But me and you could really have a conversation later, and we're in a little rush for some time.
Hmm.
Go ahead, Afro.
Okay, we'll get to Erica. You've requested. I don't see you in the request thing, and I've been looking for you. I'm not about to sit up there. There's like 200 people in here. I'm not about to sit up there and scroll left and right, back and forth. If you want to come up, request up. So now we're gonna get to Black Vanguard.
Yeah, what's up, everybody? Yeah, so I really didn't watch the Turning Point USA event. So they talk about the Candace Owens, Biz Imperial. I've seen some on Turning Point USA that Myron Gaines, that Sudanese person, he got turned away by the white folks as well. So
Yeah.
they're actually up. So yeah, so that means they turn on them. So Myron Gaines started backpedaling now because he guys wake up immigrant call. So a lot of them are turning against each other. A lot of them get a wake up call. This one I'm glad we delineated because this is a loss for the Trinidadian community. What Nicki Minaj was doing, because was she over there trying to campaign for Kamala Harris while she was running for office?
I
I
don't
think she
remember. I don't remember Nikki's
yeah.
stance on that. I wouldn't be surprised. I really don't remember. I would tell you, but I really don't remember where Nikki stood on that.
Now you got a lot of them. You got some of her fans are turning against each other though, and Nicki Minaj, and they trying to say she a black woman, and then they'll say no, she's Trinidadian. We have to remind people where she's from. She's Trinidadian. Like when with that George V, when Michael B. Jordan had that drink, Nicki
Yeah.
Minaj was the main people saying this is Trinidadian culture. You culture appropriate Trinidadian culture while you actually making money off of foundational Black American culture, which is hip hop. Hip hop is a foundational Black American creation, not no Trinidadian, no Caribbean person. So she's Nicki Minaj taking heat. This is a loss for the Trinidadian community, a loss for the people from the Virgin Islands and from Sudan. We don't got nothing to do with this foundational Black Americans, because if you a person like Brandon Taylor, which is of the lineage though, but he is C double M. He's ostracized from the foundational Black American community. He can't come around our community. So that's why I'm glad these people, and also Brandon Taylor, he got his wake up Negro called as well. So a lot of these these people on the right, even on the left, they getting their wake up call. But this is very concerning how they had this private meeting for 4 hours. You said Afro Elite, Erica. That means, well, how come they didn't have it privately? Let you know this was a whole disaster. But you can
What's
tell that
crazy
these
about
paid.
it? Let me just add this real quick. What's crazy about it is this is right after Candace said that there were several threats on her life, and she had an anonymous leak that there were threats on her life, and then she agreed to have a private conversation for 4 hours with Erika Kirk, someone that she alluded to is involved in the offing of her close friend. Like, okay, really? And now you don't even want to talk about it.
Yep, and that's crazy though too. Now she's trying to backpedal to the black community. I heard she was on Charlamagne and God's radio show station about 4 or 5 months ago. So she's slowly trying to whirl her back in the black community. Said, no, 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 you Caribbean. You said all these anti-foundational black American things towards our community now. Now the white tea folks are turning against you. Now you gotta take that L. And also, Candace Owens, she always identified as Caribbean. She said she got Caribbean privilege. She has to say that with her own mouth though, that they give her news reports talk about all the bad things going on in the Caribbean. And Candace Owens saying that no, I only talk about foundational black Americans. I got Caribbean privilege. I don't talk about things going on in the Caribbean though, because I'm Caribbean. That's gonna be all cold against our community. Now, I don't feel sorry for Candace Owens if they have a hit squad on Candace Owens, that's on her. We foundational black Americans ain't in it. We not gonna protect or have them Caribbeans, have them people from Virgin Islands protect Candace Owens. We not coming out here to her rescue just like we're coming out and protect Nicki Minaj and Cardi B, all these other people that support either the Democrat or Republican Party. We's only supporting people, even people that's other leanings like the Brandon Taylors. We not supporting him either.
Ain't no sellout no matter where you from. If you doing something that's anti-black, I don't care if you Caribbean, I don't care if you FBA, I don't care. You going against the group, you betraying the community, gotta go.
Yep, and then you got a lot of people, even a lot of these Kadesh, even not what's going on in California, is that you have people like Isaac Bryan and a lot of these people in California legislative black caucus, they trying to backpedal, trying to act like they so much concern and care about the black community. I said, no. You turn your back on the black community. Last year we voted against reparations, and when the Trump administration and the white people on the right is going against these black Democrat elected officials that has historically been selling out the black community, all of a sudden they try to backpedal to the black community. No. Keep that same energy, just like we tell the Somalis and we tell the Nigerians roll on with the travel ban that's taking effect on January the 1st of 2026. No, y'all had all that animosity towards our people on Clubhouse, Twitter, even on TikTok right now to a certain extent. Now the heat is on you. Now you try to backpedal the foundation of Black American community. Y'all take that heat just like Myron Gaines. I've been noticing that ever since that situation happened, Turning Point USA and Myron Gaines of like 2 days ago. I noticed that he had been saying a lot of anti-foundation Black American talking points for the last 2 days since the white tea people has checked Myron Gaines. Because they tell me you're not white. You basically a Sudanese person. That's basically what tell them. But I could go on all day about this. I'm gonna allow other people to speak.
Yeah, BX, I'm having issues letting people up. You might have to do it because it's not letting me do that. I don't know what's going on. It's giving me technical issues again.
So I don't see anybody in the queue. That means that page is private. For me, it shows us on the panel, you, the panel, and then viewers. I don't see anybody who's requesting. So they could have a private page.
Okay, well, maybe that. Maybe. Let's get to delineationist.
Hey, what's up? Season greetings. Hope y'all boycotting Christmas. Yeah, boycotting that Christmas. But I hope everything's going well. And what up, BX? What up, Afro?
How you doing?
I like this topic right here because you see two immigrant women cosplaying as Black American women, right? And they're the lowest denominator of immigrants, right? Candace Owens never graduated from college. She's a Kanye West immigrant, Tether edition. She went to Rhode Island and dropped out her junior year. So this woman is not college educated. Like she did not stick to the college. She did not get her degree. In my world, she's a low life, man, because I got a master's. So I don't even want to be compared to the likes of this type of woman. Just keeping it 1,000. This other one, you got this other woman who's a rump shaker. Uncle Luke type of child, right? So they're out here denigrating the image of Black American women, and they're put onto the global stage. And I have a really strong issue with that. These women keep saying that they're Black, and there's no pushback from our community. I think we should double and triple down on these guys and put them back to the community that they belong. This woman's Trinidadian. This woman is Caribbean. Stay in your lane. Stop saying you're Black. Stop talking about black people. Stop going on going to these shows and representing us as if you're a black American, because it has genocidal G-side effects on our community. It misrepresents our community. Honestly, these outlets should be sued for the misappropriation of our lineage and our people and the misrepresentation. And you might as well just throw in misinformation, since they always want to throw that on us. That is misinformation, right? Them two women. And it's very problematic. I'll even go one step further, that they're sending that imagery to our women, saying that these are the only acceptable type of women that can be around on Turning Point. And I don't like that message being sent out either. So you got this trampish style of type of a woman, and you got this intellectual ditwit. Like it makes our women look bad because they're representing us, and it's really getting on my nerves that these women are allowed to cosplay. The lowest denominator of what we might even consider, I wouldn't consider, is lowest denominator of theirs to elevate it into our blackness. That's what I would say, because they're lowest denominators of their country, their origins, and they're trying to elevate into our blackness to push whatever agendas. And that's what's kind of annoying me about this whole situation. This woman's going to the UN. She's in very influential spaces that we need to be in, to be talking about lineage-based reparations, repair for our people, fighting G-slide and E-slide. And this woman is in the way of that. That woman's interfering, and she's not even an American citizen, right? That's what I see. And this is why I get so frustrated with these two women right here. And they're just the tip of the spear. I'm going to go off the limb and say that these women are controlled opposition, or controlled with the foreign government, like the three-letter agencies like the CIA and stuff like that. Professor Grift has talked about the covert war on hip-hop and how these three-letter agencies have infiltrated the hip-hop and rap industry, and with the sole intentions of and the sole purpose of social engineering our people. And I look at these two women are an example of that type of behavior. And that's why their actions is so nefarious and so dangerous. I want them out of the United States country. We can't even verify one of their citizenship, which is Nicki Minaj. But yet still, because she makes a lot of money, she's paying taxes. How? Like, these are questions that I'm asking here that we're allowed to slide through. I want the ice cream truck to pick up her weirdo brother, and send him back to Trinidad, since she had a lot to say about a black American man trying to do business deals, interfering with our businesses, interfering with our way of life.
How do we know Nikki was telling the truth when she said her citizenship wasn't questioned? Like, she's the one that told us she wasn't a citizen, really. She's the one that put it out there herself. My thing is that Nicki Minaj tells a lot of stuff. I don't think she's very accurate. Her whole early career was based off a little kid. Nikki just does things to do things. You see how that works?
What happens is that what you realize is a lot, because Nicki and Cardi B does this too. I don't know if it's a Caribbean thing, but they do. I think Cardi does it worse than Nicki though. But they will go on Instagram Live and they will just rant and start spilling the beans on a lot of stuff. And this is what Nicki does, and then she gets caught up. Now she has to save face, because nobody would have even questioned Nicki's citizenship if she didn't rant about it and go on talking about it. Nicki's with those crazy emotional unhinged outbursts that she has all the time, where she goes around telling on herself, and then next thing you know, now she has to backtrack. Now she has to clean up her image and her brand and everything. I don't know. It's something mental, man. Something's going on, man.
Can I close off with this? She is, you could do a Google AI check. She's a green card holder, right? She's doing what a lot of these immigrants do. They wait to the last minute to actually get their citizenship and to be legit. She's been a green card holder since 2024, and she has not done anything to change her status. So that's her fault. Nothing
Yeah.
to deal with us.
You was a master investigator. I didn't really look. Okay, thank you for that.
I knew it
information.
was something like that. I knew it was something like that.
Yeah,
I knew it was
I'm
something
gonna do a
like
quick
that.
Google search on this lady, because these people like her, they want to call woe is me, but they've never taken the initiative to come to America the right way. Do the right thing. And they had over 20 to 50 years of doing the right thing, and they chose not to. So if the ice cream truck come knocking on the door, shame on them. Has nothing to do. Don't cry to Black America for this. That's what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm. All right. Way to close off. Let's get to Sam, because we can't be here all night.
Hey guys, I'm from Ghana, Africa, but I'm a citizen here in the United States. I've lived here for 20 plus years. Thank you for having me here. Yeah, I think for me, I have no issue with a lot of what is happening in TP USA. I don't really think it's a disaster. I think whenever it comes to TP USA, I think it is basically a system of institution that was, created by Charlie Kirk. Obviously, we all know that. Charlie Kirk wasn't really a Republican. He was an independent and moderate politician.
He was
And
a
so,
moderate politician?
Yep, he was moderate, heavily moderate for sure. You
Really?
guys can
Okay. Well, he wasn't
fact
a
check it.
politician. If you want to say he was moderate, I'm gonna let you
I
finish
mean,
because
it
we're
depends.
gonna talk.
Sure,
But he
it
wasn't a
depends on how.
politician. He was
Sure,
never a
sure, but
politician.
it depends on how you define what it means for someone to be a politician, though. So
Oh,
we can.
tell us what it
So
means to be a
wait.
politician.
Wait. Why are you cutting me off? Because I
No,
haven't been able
because you
to.
said something that's incorrect, and we just want to
Wait,
clear
there's so
that
many
up.
people here have said a lot of things that's incorrect, but I didn't push back against it.
Okay. Well, you said something about someone who's not here anymore. That's incorrect. You said he was a politician. There's not no universal politician is not no ambiguous term. There is actual a thing you have to do to be considered a politician.
I disagree with that. I disagree.
It's
I'm
not
sorry.
about. It's not your
That's a
opinion.
claim. So what is the argument for that?
Hold on.
Okay, wait one moment.
I'm gonna let you go, but I want the
You're not being
audience to
fair, though.
understand. I want the audience to understand.
Yeah.
This is. Where'd you say you were from again? Where'd you say you were from?
I said I was born in Ghana, but I live in the United States, and I was citizen.
All right. Continue. Just,
Right.
just y'all remember that part.
Right. So sure. So yeah, I think he played a huge role in the political arena. Uh, um, so that's number one. I think, and there's a lot of things that I guess he said that can be pretty controversial, just like Dr. Umar Johnson, whatever his name is, Dr. Umar, that dude that says a lot of controversial things that many black people don't push back against him. So Charlie Kirk to me is nothing really different from Dr. Umar.
Really.
That's how I see. Yeah, that's how I perceive Dr.
What
Charlie
were
Kirk.
some of the controversial things that
Wait, I'm not done. I'm almost. I'm gonna make my
you're
3
taking a
points.
little bit of time? But okay, go ahead.
I mean, these people
Because I
have been
got
talking for
questions.
years.
You're
No,
saying
hold on,
things, and I got
These
questions.
people have been talking
Go
for.
ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead, because
Because
I
I did
really
say-
want you to really get out
Sage.
everything you want to say.
Thank
And
you.
I
I
did
appreciate
say
you.
that I would stop people when I hear misinformation, and I said,
What are
me
we
or
talking about?
SOU would stop when we hear misinformation. That's what we said. And I want to inform you that Dr. Umar is a Pan-African who does have Cuban descent, sir.
Doesn't
But,
sure,
okay,
but
but
sure, but the claims that he
continue.
makes are worthless. I don't think they
I'm not
meaningless. Just like Charlie
Pan-African,
Kirk.
Sam,
so
okay.
But
So
let me.
your
Can I
point. Get to
continue?
the point, Sam. Get to the point.
Okay, sure. Okay, so I'm done, Charlie Kirk. 3 more points. Now, when it comes to Candace Owens, I think Candace Owens, a lot of the YouTube videos that she's made, I don't think she has actually made any arguments, right? She hasn't made any claims. She's just been asking questions. All of her YouTube videos has been questions after questions after questions. And I think it is fair for someone to ask rhetorical questions that challenges the status quo. That's all her YouTube videos is about. I don't think she's made any claims. And she said it herself whenever he was brought up to the white dude that from England, I forgot his name, that hosts lots of he has his own show, something like that. Forgot his name. They're from England. He's a journalist. He was on that show. She was on that show, and she said on that show that all her YouTube videos have just been questions after questions after questions, and she has every right to ask fair questions about what is happening. And we are all asking this. Yeah, Piers Morgan, thank you. We all have the right to ask those questions. So I don't think it's fair for us to act as if that like, oh, she has made this conspiracy claims. No, that is not true at all. Now, my last point I want to make. This is very sad. You guys to give me 50 seconds, but it's okay. My last point that I want to make is whenever it comes to one of the statements that someone made about like Nicki Minaj. She has always been a Christian. She has a pastor, right? Ever since she's always been in here in the United States, growing up as a Christian. Trinidad is a huge Christian nation, island. She has always been a Christian. The only thing that you guys do is theologize her songs that she plays, interpret her songs that she plays, and you will see the Christian themes in those songs. You might not like it, but it's there. So it's, and then the green card thing. You can hold a green card, right, and be allowed to work here legally if you have a green card. There's no problem with that. So stop questioning that. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Well, here's the thing. Mr. Guy. I want y'all to understand that when we say we got an issue, that's the people. Notice the people who like Turning Point USA. Notice where they're from. I just want y'all to understand the people who defend Turning Point USA, the people who defend Charlie Kirk, the people who defend all of the anti-black racism that comes from that side of the field. Just ask where they're from and they'll tell you. This man said Charlie Kirk was a politician. Charlie Kirk is not a politician. That's not an opinion. That's not up for debate. That's not no opinion. Charlie Kirk himself said he has no political aspirations. Charlie Kirk himself said he was never going to run. That's not no opinion. This dude is dumb. You need to go back home. Okay. Then he talks about conspiracies. Let me ask you this question. What are, or controversial statements rather. What is the controversial statement that Charlie Kirk said that was not incorrect? It was controversial.
Wait, why are you asking me that question? I don't think anything that he says is controversial.
You just
That's my
said,
point.
you said he said controversial things. You said that.
No, I'm saying if he said controversial things, they're
You
nothing
don't think
different
Charlie
from
Kirk
what.
said anything controversial?
Yeah, personally, I don't. I think he
Okay.
had his own personal opinion, just like everyone else did.
So you
Every other
agree with
debater
Charlie,
did.
you agree with Charlie Kirk's opinion?
Yeah, I think a lot of the things that he said was, I mean, it's basically quoting Thomas Sowell, but maybe he misinterpreted
Like
Thomas
what?
Sowell.
Like
Let
maybe
me know
one
what
thing.
A lot of the socioeconomic structures that he stood for. If you go and read Thomas Sowell, this is literally where Charlie Kirk was getting
Okay,
information
well,
from.
we're not
Maybe
talking.
he,
No, stay with
maybe he
Charlie. Stay on
misrepresented.
Charlie. Stay on
Yeah,
Charlie.
sure, I agree, but maybe he. I'm just giving the foundation of his
No,
claims
I
that he
want to
makes.
get your opinion, not Charlie's. I want to
Sure.
get your opinion.
So my own personal opinion, I think Charlie Kirk was fighting against a lot of the democratic extremes of
No,
oppression that was
no,
harming
no,
the
no,
United
no, no,
States.
no, no, no,
That's what he
no,
stood
no,
for.
no, no,
That's what he
no,
stood
no,
against.
no,
Like
no.
he was
I want
against
to
homosexuality.
listen. When I'm talking, you need to be quiet. You need to have some American decorum if you live here. Listen, I want to know as far as Charlie Kirk's stance on the black community. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, he loves the black community. He
He
does.
loves the black community.
He does. He has no problem
What
with
do you think about George Floyd?
it. To me, I thought George Floyd was like a good person that didn't deserve to die. Charlie Kirk had no issue with George Floyd.
Do you how no it deserved to okay. What ended George Floyd's life?
I mean, it's debated, right? Some lawyers say it could be the pill. Some lawyers say it could be the knee. But at this
It's
point,
debated. No.
the majority of lawyers, the majority of lawyers agreed that it's both the knee and the pill.
No, the majority of lawyers do not agree with that.
That's not true. I can send you facts if I get home.
No, you. First off, okay. I want y'all to understand this is why we have to delineate. This is why we got this tether issue. Y'all see this? Y'all see this? This is why we have this tether issue, y'all. This is why we done. Okay. First off, you don't have multiple causes of death. That's not how death works. One thing takes you out. You don't have, well, 50% of this and then 40% of this and then 10% of, that's not how death works. You don't have a mixture of, it's not a cocktail of mixture of different things. It was only one thing. And Charlie only acknowledged one thing. Charlie was an anti-black racist who wouldn't like you at all. But a lot of you all are filtered in, and a lot of y'all have anti-black American hatred and vitriol. And then when we say it, and we say the problems in the community come from certain people of certain lands, and we say, you know, let's be honest, Africans coming over here, they're not really adding that much, and this is the representative that we have. This is exactly the representative that we have. You're making your entire community look terrible. You understand that? Out here lying. And this is the anti-black racism that we have had to deal with, which is why when it comes to ICE, when it comes to deportations, when it comes to all of these things, we're hands off. This is why we're over with this Pan-African stuff, because your community has not gotten rid of people like you. Your community doesn't ostracize people like you. Black Vanguard was talking about how we're ostracizing, and no on code Black American rocks with Brandon Tatum, despite his lineage. Because we don't rock with sellouts. We don't rock with people who backstab. We don't rock and allow people in the community who are going against the community. The only way, when it comes to Black American community, the only way people have been able to affect us is they've literally had to send agents undercover and operatives undercover, because either that we wouldn't allow you to come in the community. If you were opposed to what we were doing, if you were against the grain, we're not allowing you in. You're ostracized. That's why they got to send agents and COINTELPRO. They had to do that. Y'all don't even need a COINTELPRO. That's the crazy thing. Y'all, the amount of white ass kissing and worship is just so common where y'all from. Y'all don't even need a COINTELPRO. Y'all don't even need to be paid. You're not even getting paid. I could see if you was an employee by Turning Point USA. You just doing it for the love of the game. That's the saddest part. You a tether for the love of the game. There's nothing lower than that. I at least, not to give too much grace, but I can rationalize a tether selling out for money. But a tether selling out for the love of the game, that's just all time low.
Sadly, you don't know me.
Yeah, I know enough of you, unfortunately.
Right.
You made a lot of
What state do you
assumption
live
that's
in?
not true.
Go ahead, BX.
Sam, what state do you live in?
Can you tell me what state you live in so I can tell you what state I live in first?
No.
I live in New York, Sam. I'll take it, BX. I live in New York. Where do you live, Sam?
Yeah, I've lived in multiple places. Right now, I currently live in Iowa. I'm trying to go to the Navy.
Sam, have you ever lived in New York?
Yeah, I never lived. I've visited New York before.
Okay. How long
lived
did
in
you,
New York.
when you came to New York, how long was your visit?
I was there for like a month because my girlfriend's from Rhode Island.
Great. Okay. So I've been in New York for 30 plus years. You said a fallacy earlier. You said that there's a large Christian Trinidadian community in New York. Where at, sir?
I never said that. I just said
You said that
Christian.
there's a large
I never said
Christian
that.
population of
I
Trinidadians.
never said that.
Okay, sir.
Sorry, with respect, I never said that. All I said
Afro,
was,
you recording this, right?
yeah, I mean, yeah, sure, you can
Okay.
record it all you want. All I said was, right, that Nicki Minaj has always been a Christian. There's a large population of
And
Christians
also,
in
yeah, you said
Trinidad.
that. You said
And I
that.
said it's about,
Yeah, you said something about music. I don't know if you know about me, sir. I do music my damn self, sir.
right.
And what part of her music displays
He
Christianity,
said
sir?
Nicki Minaj does gospel
All of it.
music.
Let's
We
pull
just
up the
don't
lyrics.
understand it.
Let's pull up the
We
lyrics.
can't
Sir.
see the
Let's pull the lyrics.
Christ. We can't see the message of Christ through her
Sure.
twerking. That's
Okay.
the problem.
Sure.
Her twerking is distracting us from the biblical message of her
Twerking is
music.
an
What
art.
she's saying.
What's the issue with that? Twerking has always been an art.
I'm not
Africans has
saying it
always been,
was. I'm saying
yeah,
you're
right.
saying
And
it's
Africans,
a biblical gospel
it
thing that
is
Nicki Minaj is
100%.
doing, and I'm just saying you're correct. We just can't see it through all of the ass bouncing.
Have you read
That's
Song of Solomon? Have you read Song of Solomon?
So here's the issue. Nikki's
I mean-
form of Christianity is I think a synchronized one when she covers the ATR that she's really practicing. And that's what you could tell in her music, sir. The Roman and all that imagery there. It's not pure Christianity. You get it? She's practicing an ATR in open sight. And the reason why you don't see anything wrong with twerking is because it's a ritual in one of those countries over there called Mapuka, right? And it was the Caribbean that brought it here. But unfortunately, it's stuck with Black Americans. And they call us degrading names because of Africans and Caribbeans when they be twerking all over the place. Have you seen a Jamaican party with them jumping off the speaker and all this crazy mess they be doing? But unfortunately, we the baby mamas and all this stuff, they got the highest paternity fraud rate on the continent and in the Caribbean. Like, you really have some anti-Black American sentiments, but what do we expect from an immigrant, right? And you're taking up for another immigrant. And just because you live anywhere in the States, right, does not make you an American. You don't have our values, right? And you won't never see things that we see things wrong with. And then you want to compare Dr. Umar, right? Even though I don't like him, but he's actually right when he says snow bunnies never. That's hilarious to me. But yeah, so Dr. Umar should never be compared to Charlie Kirk. That's just ludicrous. That's ludicrous. And I shouldn't even have to rationalize that within my mind. That shouldn't even have rolled off your tongue like that.
And again, I want to reiterate this to the family. Being a person that was born and raised in New York, there is no large Christian community of Trinidadians in New York. Not in Southside Jamaica, Queens, not in Brooklyn, New York, not in the Bronx, not in, maybe in Staten Island, nobody goes there. But again, there is no large community of Christian Trinidadians running around in New York. There are no churches I can't even name 5 Christian Trinidadian churches in New York. So to say that this woman is a straight up Christian because the Trinidadian population is Christian, that's a fallacy. And again, if you're not from New York, you don't know that.
Where was she born? Where was she born?
She was born in Trinidad, sir. She was an illegal immigrant when she came over here, sir.
Okay, can you look at the population of Christianity from Trinidad, please?
I'm talking about in New York City, sir.
Okay, that's a non sequitur then. You're making a non
She
sequitur
wasn't
argument.
raised in Trinidad, sir.
Right.
She's from
that what I said?
Southside Jamaica, Queens. She doesn't even say Trinidad in her damn music.
I said, again, you're bringing up claims I never made. I said that where she was born, right, which is Trinidad, if you look it up, right, it has shaped her culture. There's a large population of Christianity there. And I also mentioned that she has always had a pastor ever since that she's been in the United States. And that pastor has always influenced her. Whenever she went to UN,
Everybody stop. Everybody, hold on.
Whenever she went to UN,
Stop.
they just the pastor that was with her.
Sam,
Come on.
Sam, how long have you been in the States?
I'm 20 plus years. I was here 2002.
Why did you immigrate here?
It's a miracle, actually. So my parents won the citizenship lottery, right? After they left Israel because of the Intifada war that was happening there.
Okay.
And so when they won the lottery,
How old were you when you
I was 9. I was 9.
9 years old. When do you plan on going back?
I plan on going back after I pay off my loans, or as long as I can get some job that will be able to help me pay off my loans, so I can make money to go back.
So he's not going back.
So you're broke.
You don't know me.
Hold on, you're broke.
Yeah, currently right now I'm broke. Yeah, I'm trying to make myself back to the Navy to go to the Navy someday. So I feel like the Navy will help me pay off my loans.
Is that why you do so much white ass kissing to get some money?
No, not necessary. I think I see truth.
Not necessarily. So is another reason?
Yeah, I see a immense amount of truth.
So what is the other reason you do so much white ass kissing?
I don't do white kissing. I do black kissing. I do all kinds of kissing. When I see truths, I speak about it, right? I stand for black people, Hispanic, indigenous people.
Y'all saw he didn't say that until he said it a couple times. Right. He does white ass kissing.
I have. I've always stood for black people. But when I see truth from the moderate aspect of the United States, I'm going to talk about it. I don't think Charlie Kirk has really made any hideous arguments that has gone against liberals, unless you guys can point. All
right. Here's the thing.
What are the hideous arguments?
Look, we don't have all night, but here's the thing. What you've said so far has been wrong. Everything you've said has been wrong. And this is why, whether you come in as refugees, whether your parents won the lottery, apparently there was an American lottery during a war. That's kind of weird, but okay, I guess.
Wait, you didn't hear me.
No, I don't. Okay, whatever. It doesn't matter. Honestly, it doesn't matter.
Is Adonu, Adonu, a Black American surname? She doesn't have a Black American pastor. She has an African one. And when I said that her music reflects an ATR, that's what I meant. So her Christianity, honey. No wonder why she's speaking up for Nigeria over there.
BX, literally, Nicki Minaj has a song about making men ejaculate.
Well, I would like to say, how is she a Christian when she comes out of her own mouth talking about she has demons, at least 12 of them living inside of her?
Hey Sam, let me ask you a question.
That's a great
You got so
question.
much to say about Sam. You got so much to say about Black America, but why are you not talking about the issue that's going on in your homeland in Ghana? Can you tell me that?
I do talk about it a lot.
Is that why you're going home when you pay your debts off?
What?
You're
No, I'm
going
just,
home when you pay your debts off, right?
yeah, I'll
He's
go
not
right
doing
now
that.
if someone gave me money to go home, right? But
But
unfortunately, I don't have that
okay,
money.
why do you need money to go home?
What are you
You
talking about,
didn't
bro?
need
Like,
money. Hold on, but you didn't need money to come to America. Why do you need
what are
money
you
to go
talking?
home?
I was a kid at the time. I'm an adult now. Of course, I gotta
Well,
get
your
money to
parents
get
didn't
a
need
plane,
money.
a
Your
blind
parents.
ticket,
Notice that, y'all.
a plane ticket.
They're going
What are we
home. They're
talking about?
always going home, but they just got to get a little bit. They got to get their ducks lined up in a row and all that. It's
Bro,
always
like
something that they have to
if
do.
someone
Your
blesses me
parents
money right
didn't
now,
need to
I'll
do
go
that.
home.
Your
Wait,
parents
wait,
fled.
wait, wait.
If
Sam,
someone
how old
give
are
me
you? Sam, how old are you?
if someone give me money right now, I'll go home.
Sam, how old are you?
Yes, sir. I'm 33.
You're 33 and you're asking people for money.
Wait, he's the one who's questioning about my financial status. So
You
what are
don't
we
want to
talking
answer?
about here?
Sir,
Afro's the one questioning about my financial status,
wait,
and I've been
wait,
quite honest about my.
sir, I'm very quiet about my financials, sir, but just trust me, sir. You're no comparison to me. Trust me. Trust me.
Yeah. Trust me, I know.
I don't want to compare myself to you. I agree.
All right, Sam.
Like I haven't said anything wrong. I'm just saying
No, you
that like
said everything. Everything you said so far is wrong. I don't even think your
so.
name is Sam for real.
Okay, so can you tell me exactly what I said wrong or at least something that
No,
Charlie
I
Kirk
can't.
said that was an
I
issue?
have other things I want to talk about, and that
So you
doesn't have
guys
to
have
do.
been refuting my arguments and just making fun of me.
If somebody makes an argument,
Take
he's
this as
gone
a
because
blessing.
we
You
don't
was
have too
caught
much
on the
time.
rope, honey.
But I'm gonna say, if somebody makes an argument that the sky is green, do you have to refute that? Like, there's some things that are just so unbased in reality, so fictional, you don't even have to refute it, to be honest. But I want to get to this person, Beldage. You didn't like the conversation we just had with Sam?
I am Somali American.
Okay. Yeah. Oh wow.
Um,
Okay. You
No,
didn't like the
Somali.
conversation we had?
Somali. Are you
yes,
black
I'm
today?
Somali American. Say that
You
again.
Are you black today?
okay? Hold on. Let me ask the questions because you said that you were in the chat room disliking the conversation. Why?
Um, the way the conversation was going, I really didn't like it. He said few things that were wrong. Obviously, defending Charlie Kirk, I don't agree with that. Um, things like the guy we saw, what was his name in Minnesota? He that was murdered
Can't say
by
that
a
word.
by an officer who had his knee on his throat,
Derek
who
Chauvin.
died.
Okay.
You know, yeah,
What did he say
that
that
was.
was correct? You said that he said a few things that were wrong. What did he say that wasn't wrong?
Um, what was wrong was your communication of saying him, when are you going back? For example, this is I have a different view of African Americans than when I was younger. I came to America 2002. In school, I remember I didn't have a good outlook on African Americans
Why's that?
because some of the younger people that are my classmates, they would call us African booty scratcher.
I
They would
knew it.
Oh,
I knew it.
not
Oh
the
God,
African
I
here we
beauty.
knew
go.
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
They
Hold on,
called
hold
you an
on. What
African
year
beauty
you came
scratcher. Oh
here?
my
Let me
God.
finish. I went to Northland High School and I went to middle school here in Columbus,
What
Ohio.
year? What year?
Never
Uh,
fails.
I went
Same old
to
story.
2003, 4.
I got to call cap on that.
They
I got to
wasn't
call
saying
cap
it by
on
that
that.
I
time.
feel like they lying
We
about
wasn't
that.
Yeah.
saying it by that
No,
time,
Yeah, they
Billy.
smoking that.
Right.
That's
So
old
Bill
news.
Dodge, do
Yeah,
you
we were
know what
saying that in the
that son
90s,
Yeah,
not in
of
the
y'all y'all
Candace?
getting
2000s.
that. Y'all need to update the script,
no,
honestly.
can I finish?
Y'all do.
Um,
So that is
so,
from wait, Bell Dodge, right? Nobody was saying that when I was in school in the 80s and 90s, right? It actually came out in a movie. And
Boys in
after
the
that,
hood.
people ran with it for a little while, and then life went on. But y'all sort of might have watched this movie because y'all always 20 years behind us. No matter what we do, you're always 20 years behind cosplaying. So I think y'all saw this movie, and now everybody got that story. And it's really weird when a 30-year-old comes up and talk about when they were in college. People called them African booty scratchers. Like, this is the lies that y'all be telling. Our children aren't worried about calling anybody any names then, right? They're trying to pass their grades. See how that works? They're trying to build their future. So I want the Africans to like really update the script, as Afro said. Y'all gotta cut it out. I never went to school with Africans. Me and my friend groups did not go to school with Africans. So how could we call you African booty scratchers? Like, that came out in a movie. That was the first time I
I
heard
don't.
We
it.
did do it. We did it,
so,
but it was in the
so,
90s, not the 2000s. He lying.
so,
But we did do it, though.
there's
I
no
don't
From
remember
difference
a
for
that. I
me.
don't
movie.
remember
That's
that
what
at
I'm
all.
Yeah,
To
saying.
be
From
I
a
don't
honest.
know if y'all had a
movie.
lot of African.
But
We did in Atlanta, and we
I
did it.
didn't go to
aside,
school with
wait,
Africans.
can I
I
finish
went to
my?
Catholic school. I didn't go to school with Africans. I didn't. And even when I transferred to public school, they were not there. I went to school on, what's that, Pelham Parkway.
Let me
They
ask.
must have all
Let me
been in
ask.
Atlanta
Hold
because we
on,
had them.
everybody.
We
Hold
had
on
them.
for a question. Second.
Okay,
Bell
can
G,
I finish?
they called you an African booty scratcher, and as terrible and horrible and horrific as that is, what did you all say in response?
So, being here in Columbus, Ohio, I remember when I was younger, the outlook was African Americans don't like us Somali Americans.
No, what did y'all
That
say? Like, if somebody called you an African booty scratcher, what would you say? What was the
probably you would
response?
cut them back. You would cut them out. You would say something as offensive as the person said,
No,
I'm sure.
what would you say as offensive as what the person said? What is as
Well,
offensive?
if the person was, scrawny, if he looks fat, I would say, you look like a hippo, you're fat, whatever,
So
depending on the
you wouldn't call us any slurs or anything like that. It wouldn't be none like that, right?
No, I consider myself black, obviously.
So there was no
Whatever that would
like.
offend that person,
So there was no like slavery jokes or anything like that y'all would say. No, you don't know where you're from jokes, nothing like that.
no. What is slavery? Let me finish my point.
Oh no. I mean,
So
you brought it up. I just
It
feel like
no,
was.
it's
I
relevant
said
because
probably I
hold
said
on. Don't talk when I'm talking because what happens is that y'all will make it seem like this was this one-sided thing where black American kids just was bullying all Africans for absolutely no reason, and y'all didn't do anything. Y'all never provoked anything. Y'all never pushed back. Y'all were these helpless, defenseless children who were being called that one single insult, the African booty scratcher, your entire childhood. That just don't really add up to what children do. And then when we say, well, what did y'all do? Well, we just turned the other cheek and then we just walked away. We wouldn't say, you said we would say something as me. Well, we would call them fat maybe or scrawny, but we wouldn't call them anything racial. We wouldn't call them any slurs. No, that's not what happened.
no,
Back
Afro.
now, hold on. Back in the day, and I don't support bullying at all, but back in the day, kids bullied kids. That's what happened. Okay. And y'all are trying to center yourselves and make it seem as if you guys were particularly targeted because you guys were from Africa. When a lot of African kids, y'all was out here calling people Akadas, Jareers, slave babies, saying we didn't know where we're from, making fun of our ancestors, making fun of all of this stuff. Even today, when you make some of y'all mad, y'all be all like, man, I'm gonna get the police on y'all, calling us bullet bags and all of that stuff. We got whole receipts of y'all doing that. Saying we have no culture, that's another one. We got receipts of y'all saying the most degenerate, degrading things towards black American kids. Kids. And y'all want to bring up some African booty scratcher shit.
So, Afro, you're missing the point.
No, I got the point.
I talked about what I experienced in the beginning when I was, I'm not saying that is general. I'm not saying every African American kid was calling every Somali kid that I know. That was very specific. Myself, back when I was younger, and my outlook on African Americans. I'm sure there's a lot of sweet African American and some Somali that are friends that get along. It depends on each person and how they were raised. You know, I'm sure some of them got along fine. So my point was that was my outlook when I was younger.
Okay.
We moved to the suburb. I didn't have a lot of contact with African Americans, to be honest. We moved to east side, kind of far,
Okay.
Columbus, Ohio. So now, here and now, today, this is what I see on social media. For example, what is happening on the news, I'm sure you're very much aware of. Somali Americans, we came here, overwhelming majority.
You need to get to the point, because it don't sound like you're even talking about the subject.
Yeah. Let me get to the point very quickly. We came to America legally, over 90 something percent. They said 97% legally came here. There is an incident of fraud by about 400.
Does this have to do with the discussion tonight? Yes or no?
The discussion tonight was African American and Pan-Africanism.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Maybe you can't read. Okay, maybe you were so distraught by being called an African booty scratcher in school, you forgot to learn how to read, because that's not clearly what we've been talking about. That's not what the prompt says. The African booty scratcher thing got you so traumatized, you don't have comprehension skills, because that's not what we've been discussing at all. Now you're trying to center the conversation around being a Somali person.
I came into this room about 30 minutes ago. The conversation I listened to about 30 minutes.
What does the prompt say? What does the prompt say? Can you read what the prompt says?
TPUSA event disaster.
Do you know what that means?
No, but
okay. Well, if you don't know what that means, then we're just gonna have to move on then.
Sure.
All right. Y'all don't believe none of that booty scratcher lie. Oh, y'all called me a booty scratcher.
I don't believe it either.
Don't believe that.
So the term was introduced to me. I'm gonna keep it anecdotally, because I do see a New Yorker who says in the 90s, them and their family was calling each other that. In 1991, I was about 17, y'all. And that's when the term was introduced to me. I didn't go to school with an African, period. Because I went to Catholic school. They just wasn't in my school. It was Caribbeans, Latinos, and Black Americans. And we did not call each other booty scratching. The term came out with Boys in the Hood in 1991. And it makes sense for somebody who says that they were in school in 1990s, and that's where they started calling people that. My point is this: we weren't raised to call Africans booty scratchers from my generation. I'm gonna keep it anecdotal. Even in New York, I didn't have no big dealing with Africans Afro until I learned where the hair shops was. They never spent the night over my house. Even when I raised my children, they were very insular. And so everything for me with Africans have been transactional. Me going to their braiding shops, they ain't never been my friend.
My thing, and after that, we're gonna get to FBAJ and continue the conversation. My thing is that if we can acknowledge that bullying kids, and it's unfortunate, okay? Kids bully kids. Kids have bullied kids, my generation, the current generation, the one before me, the one before me, the one before me. Kids are cruel like that and got a lot of issues. And that's something that we cannot dismiss. I'm not going to dismiss that. But what I do not allow is for them to victimize themselves and make themselves the center of all of what was going on as far as being bullied. Because if you want to talk about people being bullied and people saying rude or even bigoted things to each other, okay, let's have that conversation. Let's talk about how y'all were calling us Akata. Let's talk about how y'all were calling us Jareer. Let's talk about how y'all were calling us slave baby. Let's talk about how y'all said we didn't have a culture. Let's talk about how y'all said we didn't know where we were really from. Let's talk about how y'all said our grandma's lying about us being Indian. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about how y'all was like, man, you're not American and you're not really African. Let's talk about all of those things. Because when it comes to the bullying, y'all want to bring up, well, I was called an African booty scratcher, which at this point, the script is becoming so repetitive, I don't believe. But if it was true and you were called an African booty scratcher, you probably said something that provoked somebody to call you that. Okay? They make it seem like they were just going around, they were just at the water fountain, and someone's like, hey, that's an African booty scratcher over there drinking water. Like, that's not what was going on. Okay? Knowing how they act now, more than likely, if they were called that, they provoked it. All right? That's like, come on now. Let's talk about the whole thing. How rude they were, how rude they are, how disrespectful they were, how disrespectful they are. Don't just center the Black American kids and make them seem like they were the bullies of the entire generation. Don't do that. That's the thing that gets me.
Well, I got to tell you, in New York, so my son went to school in Utica, that's Brooklyn, right?
Okay.
And he said he had to fight in Africa because by that time they were bullying Black Americans in the school he went to. But so this is how I raise my children, me and them. So if you getting bullied, don't come home crying. You better fight. So my kids knew. That's why today my oldest son, I gotta pray for him because he fighting everybody: Spanish people, white people, Jamaicans, Black Americans. Like he's just gonna fight. So by the 2000s, those who are up here crying, they were bullying children in places like Brooklyn. But I didn't have children in the, who went to school in the Bronx in the 2000s. So I don't know how it was like up here for them. But in the 80s and 90s, we were not running around calling people booty scratchers. Maybe after that movie came out, Boys in the Hood, and that was 91. So that wasn't my experience, nor should that be applied to me. Now, 2000s is different, y'all. I land.
BX, real quick question.
No,
Your
I was
son
in
goes
fourth
to,
grade in 1996, and we was calling each other African booty scratcher. We was like, and I didn't know it was from that movie.
Okay, well, hold on.
You heard the term when it came out? I
Listen.
said 1991. You was in school in 96. So yeah, you would do that. The term, but my point is, y'all, and I'm going to land here. We weren't raised to call them booty scratches. It was introduced to us through a script, a movie.
Right. Yes, that's a fact. And we was calling each other that too.
But here's the thing though. We're off subject. We are off subject.
Sorry.
It is relevant because what that conversation we had is relevant because those are the people that support Turning Point USA. Those are the people who will be at a Charlie Kirk vigil or rally or memorial or whatever the case is. So we do have to acknowledge exactly who their supporters are. But let's be honest, even if you probably heard African booty scratcher in high school in the 90s or so, it may be here or there, but it was very much so out of style by that time. If you heard it maybe once or twice, possibly, I don't think the term went extinct, but it was so out of style. Nobody was really referring to each other as that. Like that was so old by that time. And then do you know if it was Black Americans who were saying it? That's my thing. Let's get to FBAJ.
No, that's good, y'all. Let the family doing good tonight.
Oh, brother. You speaking through a...
Oh, hold on. Let me switch. Hold on. I forgot. Let me change my headset real quick.
All right.
BX, did your son go to Boys and Girls?
No.
Oh, you said in Utica. That's why. I figured he went to Boys and Girls.
He was in elementary school, and that school was El Haj?
Oh, he went to El Haj Malik El Shabazz, Malcolm X school.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Got you. Got it.
Yep.
FBAJ, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. All right. So, outside of the whole African booty scratcher thing, because I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna just touch on that real quick. When I was a kid, we did say that, but it was I grew up in a neighborhood where it was Nigerians, Black Americans, Vietnamese. It was just a melting pot. So we told that shit to each other. I don't even see why the fuck how y'all are grown and y'all still are having feelings about a nickname that you got called when you was a kid. Like, bro, you was a kid. Let it go. We all got told some stuff we didn't like when we was kids. Let it go. But now, to get on to the prompt, Turning Point USA event disaster. Well, yeah. I mean, Turning Point has been in shambles since they lost their oh so great faithful leader. I mean, what is there to expect? Like, I have zero expectations of them being great. Like, let's be honest. As soon as the man died, I mean, as soon as the man was unalive, they was already back out there fundraising. Like
Yeah.
his body didn't even get to turn cold yet, and they was already out there. Oh, buy this shirt. Send donations to the family. They in need. Uh, I don't see how a multi-millionaire is in need
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah. Just mind you, they already had millions of dollars. But
I
okay, people.
exactly, and then you got Tucker Carlson doing a whole fundraiser for them. So I see what they mean when they say the rich just keep getting richer. So, but at the same time, to talk about Nicki Minaj, nothing Nicki Minaj does surprises me when it comes to cooning. Look at Lil Wayne. Look at her boss. Look at the man who put her on. He's a coon himself, and he's Black American. And I used to be a huge Wayne fan, but I gotta call a spade a spade. Lil Wayne be cooning.
You do. He be shucking and jiving.
He do. He be shucking and jiving like it's 1970s, like it's good times. Like it's that little painting from good times. Everybody just out there dancing. But it's like I said, nothing she does surprises me. She literally gets on the internet when she's having one of her booger sugar power trips. She get on the internet and start telling on herself. She literally told on herself. That's why she's under a microscope. Then nobody know. First of all, you told on yourself when you protected your brother when he got caught being a PDF file. You protected yourself when your husband we found out about him and he's a registered offender. Then on top of that, you be partaking in from allegedly you be partaking in some things that can get you caught up and sent back home. So I'm be honest, I don't feel bad for none of these people at all. I don't feel bad for Nicki Minaj because Nicki Minaj has overstayed her welcome and it's time for her to take her butt back home. You got all that money. She only married her husband because he's Black American, and that's basically her way of staying over here. She tried to pull an anchor baby move at the last minute and it's not working.
Yeah.
Then you got Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro, he's losing all of his backing right now because he don't know which way he should swing when the pendulum goes. He is literally stuck between a rock and a hard place right now because he don't have nobody else he can really call upon. I mean, Kurt got put on the shirt. Him and Candace Owens fell out. Turning Point really not messing with him. So all he got is his faithful fans, and them numbers are dwindling by the day on YouTube. So I don't feel bad for him. And yeah, he beefing with Nick Fuentes right now too. On top of it, you beefing with the Goifers, and the Goifers are running the whole MAGA Republican show right now. It's the Goifers, and Nick Fuentes, I don't even want to start on him because let's be real, he a closet rainbow kid. He just need to come out. And Erika Kirk, I don't even know where to start with her. I really don't. She is a mess her dang self. Like one minute you online showing a picture of your deceased husband, holding his hand, kissing him, telling him you miss him. Now I don't know no grieving widow who does that. I'm just gonna be honest. My mama didn't do it when my dad passed away. I don't I don't know nobody who does that after they just lost a husband the way she lost her husband.
Can you imagine somebody saying, "Hey, can you guys open the casket?" Okay, there he is. Okay, hold my phone and press record, and let me know when you start recording. And then they grab the phone and they record, and then be all like, "Okay, zoom into his hand and then zoom out, and I'm gonna be kissing his hand as he's zooming out, okay? And then look back at the video and say, this is good. And post that on the internet. Like a
bro.
movie.
Bro,
Literally like a movie.
I swear, bro, that scene right there just made me really say this is an act. She's in on it. She's playing ball. And everything that Candace has said, even though I don't like the little raccoon, she's not lying though. Nothing about Turning Point USA right now looks legit.
Yeah.
And shoot, I don't like I'm gonna say this again. I do not like Candace Owens. But even a broken clock is right 2 times a day about the time. So gotta give her credit. She can spot the BS from a mile away. But I'm gonna be honest, man. It's just funny watching all this get turned upside down and flipped on its head. And the sink is shipping very fast. It's sinking very, very fast. And you seeing all these people jumping off a ship, but you also noticing the people who was jumping onto the sinking ship, like Nicki Minaj. Like nothing they do surprises me. Everybody coons for a party, no matter if it's Democrat or Republican. That's why I say we need to just let them leave them to their own devices, because MAGA is having a civil WAR. The Democrats are out of the race. Ain't nobody voting for Democrats other than blind loyalists. That's it. And the Rainbow Club. That's it. And immigrants. But immigrants are getting taken out the country. January 1st, no fly. It's gonna be a no fly zone. All flying gonna be restricted for them. Then February 3rd, they gonna be officially listed as illegal immigrants, undocumented people. So
Yeah,
uh,
it's a hard knock life for
it,
everybody.
it's
It's
a
a
hard
hard
knock
knock life
life.
for
But
everybody.
but it ain't. But at the same time, ain't my problem. Ain't got shit to do with me. So
I agree.
yeah, y'all have fun with that, and I land my plane there.
That's true. All right now. That's what I'm talking about. Yep. Let's get to Yeako or Yeako. Yeako, if that's how it's pronounced. I guess you're not here, so let's get you beat.
No,
Okay,
no,
there
I'm
you
there.
go.
Sorry.
Every time I try to move on, y'all, I think y'all be playing with
Sorry.
me when I do that. I think y'all be
I'm so
doing
sorry.
it. Okay.
Sorry. Yes, I know the topic on a
Where you
discussion.
from? Where you
I
from?
am an African.
From
Even
where?
from a dress code, you would know that I am an African. I sympathize with my brothers in America, the Black Americans.
Okay. Where at in Africa are you from?
Liberia.
Okay.
I do sympathize with the Black Americans. I read the whole history. It's so disheartening. But anyway, that's life. Things happen for a reason. But I came into the discussions when you guys talk about death. I was not here for this from the onset, but you were talking about death occur only one time and someone is responsible or some cause. So that part is when I came in, and I want to just clarify about death. There is a proximate cause to a death. So assuming you're
You have to
recklessly
say that
driving
word.
your
I'm sorry. I'm
vehicle,
sorry. You can't say the D word. You have to say unalive.
Yeah, I shouldn't have said. I guess I.
Oh, that's what he's saying. I thought he was saying that.
not death. Sorry, I'm an African.
Say
So
unalive.
forgive me.
Just
They
say unalive.
unalive.
Okay.
Forgive me. I'm an African and I have a strong African accent. So call me out to clarify, please. Yeah. So there is a proximate cause to death. So let's assume you driving recklessly and you hit a pedestrian, and ambulance rush this pedestrian to a hospital. But the doctor give the wrong medication, or they now attend to that patient on time and the patients die. Of course, proximate cause for that death is the doctor. Either
One
administering
moment,
the wrong
sir.
medication.
One moment, because you got to understand this. You cannot say DEATH or DEAD or DIE. You have to say unalive. You have to talk in TikTok friendly language.
Oh, sorry.
Say
That's what I'm
unalive the whole time.
saying here.
Okay.
Okay, I got it. I don't know how to say it.
And I want
All right.
I think I know where you're going. I really do. But I want you to finish just so I don't assume anything. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, that was a clarity I wanted to provide. That yes, there is a proximate cause to D, but again, there are circumstantial evidence that may lead to D.
Okay. Well, technically that's incorrect. That's not true. All right. You have one life. You have one life. There are certain things that completely just that unalive the body. It's something that cuts you off of life. Let's just say that.
Correct.
One thing cuts you off of life. It's not no mixture of a bunch of different things. If I'll give you an example. If somebody was in an accident and they're injured and they're bleeding out and then they're about to lose their life, but they fall into a river. And because they're in a river, they lose their life because of the water. Was it the accident that took them out, or was it the water? The doctors will determine it was the water. Even if the accident was just about to, what was the thing that cut their life off? That is it. What is the thing that cut your life off? It's not no bunch of things. It was 10% of this, 15% of this, 7% of this. That's not the way they determine anything. When you look at the autopsy, when they do those things, when you look at that and they say the cause of unaliving, they only list one thing. They don't have a long list of the causes of unaliving. They don't. They list one thing because only one thing cuts your life off. Whatever that thing is that cut your life off, that's what is unalived you. That's just how life works. So going back to George Floyd, it was not no mix of, well, he OD'd a little bit, and then it was a little bit of strangulation, and it was a little bit of his allergies, and it was a little bit of hunger. It was not no little bit of anything else. It was 100% Derek Chauvin.
Oh yeah,
100%.
I do agree. Yeah, that incident, yes, I do agree. The proximate cause of death was actually the height of the officer, not because he was hungry or he did XYZ. That's not. So there are certain situations you will attribute D to the proximate cause, and there are other situations you cannot attribute the proximate cause, but you look for circumstantial evidence leading towards the D. Like in the case I narrated, right? The pedestrian was hit by a reckless driver. And this pedestrian was rushed to the hospital. The doctor did not pay attention. The proximate cause of that death, of course, is a doctor. But again,
First, it's not no price. It is what it is. If the doctor did something that took away his life, then the cause was the doctor's mistake. It was not the accident then. It was the doctor's mistake.
No. Of course, yeah, that's the proximate cause of the D. But what I'm saying,
that's it. You don't have levels of causes of. That's enough.
No, the pedestrian
That's
can
enough.
also be
That's
held
enough.
liable.
That's enough.
No,
that's enough. That's enough. That's you're not making sense. That's enough.
No,
okay?
Listen, the pedestrian.
No, I don't have to listen. I don't have to listen. No. That's I told you that's enough. Okay, because at this point he's just babbling, and we don't have. We're not. No, you don't have levels to causes of death, like or unaliving. Have you looked at an autopsy and they say, well, level 1 is this, and then level 2, and then level 3? That's not how that works. They're getting up here just lying. That's what they're doing. They're straight up full-fledged lying. And they get mad at us for saying that we need to keep mind our own business. Let's get to BT. You went to law school that you didn't pass. You must not have went to law school in America because that's not the way it works here. BT, you got it.
Hey, few things. That brother is gaslighting him. I thought he might have been mixed with a miracle librarian. but it doesn't make a difference. They're too far removed. I think y'all are handling it well. Nicki Minaj, Trinidadian herself, should be embarrassed. I'm not surprised. We understand her family members and what's going on surrounding most of them. So it's a ploy for that, and I think for her to stay relevant. But it's just as bad as when Meg was twerking for Kamala. So they're both jokes. Turning Point is a laughing stock. Nick Fuentes looks stressed out. He didn't even change his facial hair situation going on. So yeah, I'm just happy to enjoy the show. We knew it would be a shit show. Everyone's freaking out now that they releasing Epstein files, but the first person they released was Clinton, which I thought that was funny. Because we all know it's more to come of both everybody and their mama on that list. So they asked for that can of worms because they wanted to attack Trump. He's still doing some things I don't agree with, but I'm pro mass deportation. So I, for one, have been set in. I'll take all the bad that comes with it if we can get that, because that's a victory enough to me. And I hope the deportations continue and even go up some more. And all that other shit, I knew white folks been racist. I can deal with them. I didn't know these immigrants would assist it, though. So we got to get them out the way, stay the course, keep delineating, teaching our people, and letting these Mexicans in Cali know we ain't playing with them, letting the Asians in Dallas who are taking over out there in the black community know we ain't playing with them, and et cetera, even down to the white Cubans in Florida, all while letting the white folks fight each other. So, we just sitting back, y'all. we doing what we supposed to do. Let's keep educating our people and carving out a piece of the pie they're owed. Thanks.
I want us to take almost like a little victory lap with this, because these people have spent collectively, when it comes to the whole Turning Point and all of them collectively, they spent millions of dollars to denigrate our lineage, to talk about us, to really dehumanize us. And they've spent millions of dollars, been doing that for years. And now all of their work is crumbling down. Now it's all up to them to find a way to get along, and they can't do it. They're acting like savages out in public, backstabbing each other. They have absolutely no decorum, civil skills, civility, or anything of the sort. This is what happens when you attack the chosen people. For real.
Facts.
Ben Shapiro's really not acting like he's a part of the chosen people right now. That's all I'm going to say. That's not how he's acting. Let's get to my brother Omega, because I want to get to the last couple callers, or last few callers right there, and then, kind of wrap it up there. So Omega, you got it.
All right, B1, man.
Like first, brother.
Yeah, man. I think the whole Turning Point thing is basically, like the brother just said, it is a shit show, but it's really a reflection of what Europe has always been and what the YT adjacent has always been. It's always been, if you leave them alone in their own, to their own devices, they are going to attack each other. That's all they have done. That's all they, let's be real. Europe has been in conflict pretty much since they have came out of the Caucasus. Mm-hmm. And this is just more of the same, man. And having the bootlicks, or like you like to say, master lovers, it's kind of like a flashback into what the initial colonization would have been. The difference is, like, we own the game, and we kind of just stand at arm's reach of this whole situation, and it's a beautiful thing to see, watching them pretty much crash and burn. And I land my plane up. Appreciate you.
I think it's like, thank you, brother. I think it's just something so satisfying to watch Ben Shapiro, because his whole claim to fame is, dismissing racism and promoting racists and defending racists. Okay, as a YT adjacent person, okay, from his community. And it's just something so satisfying to see all of what he's built just get stripped away slowly. And it's by Candace. A lot of it is by Candace, but a lot of it is by himself. Ben is constantly out here making a fool of himself. Candace isn't even really doing anything at this point. Candace ain't even really doing anything. Ben is making a fool of himself everywhere he goes. It's a sight to see, ain't it? Let's get to Matthew.
Ben Shapiro, not Nick Fuentes. So my bad. Let me just.
Oh, okay. Got you. Matthew. Okay, well, Matthew's not with us. Okay, let's get to Make sure Tomlinson.
Makisha.
Keisha Tomlinson. I thought those were okay. Makisha, you got it.
Real Black American, you know.
I am so sorry. I had accidentally hit the button,
Oh, okay.
but I'm sitting here taking all of what you all are speaking about, and I'm with you all as far as this the Turning Point USA situation.
Yep. Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah, I just, and then I also was listening to some of the non-Americans that were speaking, and it's just really, it's very disappointing that they feel that way about us, and that they come over here and they benefit from our ancestors who have fought, and not only our ancestors, but the things that we have been fighting about and constantly fighting about. And it's just so unfortunate that they can't come over here and feel the same way. It's almost as though they come over here to benefit off of the things that we've fought for.
Yeah.
And that we're fighting for. And then when you bring it to their attention, they go off on a totally different tangent. You know?
Yeah, that's true.
It's so
They
unfortunate.
do. That's the gaslighting. Right there.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. It's gaslighting. And then when you try to bring those points to them, they deflect. And it's like, no, you're deflecting. You're basically going all over what it is that the main thing that should be discussed and should be addressed and should be understood and should be fought for. And it's so funny that you all had got me on here. I'm really one of those kind of people. It's hard for me to talk in front of others. So,
well, I appreciate you coming up, even if it was on accident. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
you're doing good. If that means anything.
Well, thank you so much, but I'm not going to hold you long. But like I said, I've just been listening and taking a lot of the information in, and it just, I've just been sitting at my desk going, really? Are you serious? They still don't get it. They still don't understand. They still do not get the point. No matter how much we try to have these talking points, we try to have these open discussions, they still don't get it. And then even sometimes I feel like, do they really get it, or they just don't want to understand? Yeah, I think it's both. I think in some instances they do, but they refuse because they don't want us to know that we know that they fully, that we understand where they're coming from, but they want to deflect. And it's so unfortunate because in this day and time, we all need, I'm talking about us, melanated people. We all need to be trying to stick together because these folks don't like us. These clear people do not like us. They never was for us. And you know the real reason why they don't like us? Because they know us more than we know us. And that's another sad thing. They recognize the power that we have when sometimes we don't even recognize it.
Yeah.
And that's just like the enemy.
I'm gonna let you land because we're gonna wrap things up in a little bit. I'm gonna
Okay.
let you get to land your
Well, I,
plane, get closing statements, and then we're gonna wrap things up.
well,
It's
I'm
your
gonna let.
first time talking, little cook.
I
She
would,
trying to get it out,
but I
Elite. You
gotta.
hear me?
Yeah,
No, no.
I'm gonna get
I'm
on.
just
I'm gonna
playing.
land this plane. But what I'm gonna land this plane with this being said, that you guys keep doing this. Keep doing it. I'm all for it. Keep doing it. Keep fighting the fight, and I'm gonna be right there with y'all. Okay. And I'm gonna
Thank
land
you
the
very
plane.
much. And I come back. Come back next
Okay.
time we have these conversations. I'd like to hear from you.
When do you all do it? Because this is my first time, so I don't know when you. Is it the same time? Is it on the same day?
No, well, the only day because we got busy schedules and everything like that.
Uh huh.
So we will be back sometime tomorrow, a little bit before then, because I have my own YouTube channel. So
Okay.
I go
Okay.
live on my own YouTube channel tomorrow. If you also like this, you'll like For the Culture, because that's where we put the live streams up on. All right.
Okay.
You know,
For the culture.
yeah. You know what? Next time, because it kind of varies when we go live. So next time, I'm gonna send it to you. So
Please
if you're
do.
available,
Please do.
listen and maybe partake in the conversation. It's good to have you.
Sure, it's good to be a part of this, and I really do appreciate it. And thank you so much.
You're
Okay.
welcome.
All righty.
You're welcome. All right. Um, Sage BX, do y'all have any closing words, and then we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, I'll just say this. Nicki Minaj, I'm glad that the man said that she was Christian, right? I know that she practices an ATR just based off of her videos. Then when he said she had a pastor, I said, let me see. Her pastor is not Black American, okay? He's African. So
Oh,
Trinidadians, not all, but a lot of the ones I met do practice a form of spirituality that synchronize Christianity and ATR, right? So they'll use like a Catholic saint, and it'll represent one of the Orishas, right? Because they had to hide their religion in face of oppression when they were taken to the islands, right? I'm not really interested in white tea platforms. Like, I don't know who this Ben Shapiro is, Nick Fuentes, until Afro Elites bring him up, and I'm like, okay. But I do learn a lot, and what I learned is Candace has a Caribbean bias that she always talks about. So we're not going to go ahead and be like, oh, but she looks Black American and all of that. She is Caribbean. No Black American for her, right? She told us who she was. Nicki Minaj, she has agendas, right? That makes me understand why she's doing what she's doing. She could be trying to get her people out of prison, off of parole, trying to get a citizenship. But yeah, I don't want no immigrant coming up here telling me something that we know, especially about New York artists, about Trump, about anything. This just ain't their point. It's basically the Caribbeans have been selling us out since forever. And so they're on my boycott list too, y'all. I land.
I'm gonna say this to close things off, right? Erika Kirk was trying to expand Turning Point USA. That's what she says. She was trying to expand that. Oh, hold on, we got a troll in here. You should have came earlier. We would have had a little debate. Okay, reporting this BS. Well, if you're gonna report now, hold on. Let's just block you then. Let's not do that. You don't need to report anything. You can just get blocked. How about that? I don't even block people. BX knows that. I'm very lenient on I'll mute you out the room, but I'm not really heavy on the block thing. So if I block you, it's a good reason. Yeah, it's a good reason. Don't talk about no report. We ain't do nothing to be reported. Anyway, before I was rudely interrupted, you said what?
She's a barb.
Yo, there's something kind of mental
That's
with
what I
that.
meant to say. To the people who
was
wonder
insane.
why Caribbean Nikki and Caribbean Cardi may go at each other, I believe it has to do with the religions, right? So Nikki's pastor of choice cannot get her what Cardi's lady has gotten her. But they both got ain't shit men. See how that works? I'm sorry, yeah, I had to do it. They both practice a form of spirituality that may have given them the riches, but it ain't giving them the love. Because look at their spouses. I'm a land.
Yep. I don't know who this person is in the chat room talking about, but what we're going to wrap things up. Okay, we don't have too much longer, but to be honest, we're going to wrap stuff up. All right, I'm going to say Erika Kirk has tried to expand Turning Point USA. She's talking about having Turning Point USA in different colleges and things of the sort. This is something that we need to be aware of, because what she's trying to do is create establishments and indoctrination camps all around the country that's going to indoctrinate more Charlie Kirks, more Nick Fluentezes, more Ryan Palmetters and all of that stuff. And that's what's going to happen. Now, do I think she's going to be successful with it? If she can't be successful with this event, I don't think so. I don't think so. I see Turning Point USA crashing and burning right now, but I think she's going to try. And that's the thing we need to be aware of. They are going to try. They're going to try to turn Charlie Kirk into a martyr. They've already tried to do that. And they're going to try to create the newer versions, the younger versions of Charlie Kirk. So we got to be aware of that. So in order to refute that, what we have to do is keep having these conversations, because this empowers our generation of youth with truth and education and knowledge. So they might have a Charlie Kirk, but then we'll have another Afro Elite. They might have an Erika Kirk, but then we'll have another BX. They might have another Ben Shapiro, but then you have a Sage. So you know what I'm saying? We have multiple versions of us, younger versions of us, or at least the knowledge that we have, rather, so that can combat and refute all of the anti-blackness that they're trying to, I guess, spawn. So that's what we got to do. We just got to keep doing what we're doing. Now, with that being said, I would appreciate you guys. First off, thank you guys for all of the gifts, y'all. I think y'all, like maxed out. Did they max out all the gifts? I think they did. I think y'all maxed out the gifts or something. I don't even know how to really check that. But thank y'all for that, because y'all sending a lot of gifts.
They did. I just checked.
Oh, they did? Okay, good. So thank y'all for that. And if y'all want to listen to the playback of this, go to For the Culture on YouTube and go to Afro Elite on YouTube. All right? Because Afro Elite, that's popping. For the Culture, that's popping. And then y'all follow, so that way next time we will send next time we go live, you get a notification, and then you get to listen to the live conversation, join the live conversation, all of that stuff. And with that being said, y'all be safe, family, and y'all have a good night.
Wait.
What?
When is the next time you coming live on TikTok again? There you go. Trying to see.
You can't get none past BX. I'm trying to tell you that.
I've been blocking the trolls all. You didn't see that flurry of blocks?
I did see it. It was like a whole flurry of trolls just popping up out of nowhere.
Came in here and thought they were just the first time that I seen her in here. Doxer, and they're getting bored. I guess came to see what we were doing. Got her up out of here, but she has 1 million pages, right? And then I noticed a bunch of fake profiles sitting there, so I just got them up out the paint.
Okay, well, that's good. Sanitize the room. I'm gonna try to go live tomorrow. If I can't, I'm gonna do it Tuesday, because I got more, availability Tuesday. So I'll go live Tuesday if I can't do it tomorrow, because I got a lot of stuff to talk about on my live stream tomorrow. So I'm gotta do some preparing for that. I was doing that all last night, and I gotta still do some tonight and tomorrow. So some research for that. So tomorrow it would be the afternoon. It would be around like the 3:00 Central Time, all the way till about, it was like 3:00 till maybe about an hour before I go live, if not earlier. And if it's Tuesday, then we'll do it around 6:00 Central Time. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm scheduled to have an interview on Wednesday evening. And we got to talk about the new year coming in.
Okay. Yeah, for sure.
All right, y'all. Peace, love, light, and reparations to my foundational Black Americans. I love us for real.